Γεια σου φίλε μου, τι κάνεις καλά? Άκουσε με λίγο προσεκτικά. Πρέπει να αλλάξουνε τα πράγματα. Τα δικά μας μυαλά να ζουνε φανταστικά. Ιδανικά είναι όλα όσα έχεις μάθει να εκτιμάς. Και δανεικά αυτά που λίγο υποτιμάς. Τι μου προτιμάς?
Okay, you know what happens? It's almost 10 o'clock in Toronto, and this shows our age because it's 10 o'clock in Toronto and we're freaking out. You should be saying it's only 10 o'clock in Toronto. Are you guys ready to play a game? I think we should play a game of Never Have I Ever. Everybody knows how to play this game, right? So I'm
scared.
So everybody listening and who is not watching us on YouTube, I'm gonna make a statement. And if the girls have done this, then they will have to take a drink. If they have not done it, then they will not take a drink. So are you ready?
Yes.
Never have I ever smoked a cigarette just to fit in.
I did.
Oh, except me and Maria, because I know that me and Maria didn't do it to fit in. We just started smoking. Never did I ever delete a selfie because I didn't get enough likes on it.
I'm too old for that question.
That's a generational thing, right? That's the small generation.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever had a body piercing? Drink if you have.
Does an ear count? No.
Well, it's part of our body.
No. Other parts of your body.
Dora, are you drinking?
I drink. Everybody's gonna answer this one. Never.
We got our belly buttons pierced together.
We did. Never have I ever clapped when a plane landed. Come on, you're Greek. You know what you're
supposed to do.
Never have I ever gotten into a fist fight. Vicky, I think this one's roulette. Maria, what?
Maria?
Maria, you're up. Do tell.
Epic.
Oh my God, really?
Maria, are you gonna tell?
But my sister, some girl pulled her hair and started hitting her, and I went to back her up and got my ass whooped. Oh my God. I was in a fist fight.
Oh my goodness. Okay, how about this? I don't know if anybody's gonna answer, but maybe we're embarrassed of it. Has anybody ever been caught shoplifting? I did it when I was a teenager.
I stole Squirt cream from Shoppers.
I know. You should have kept it down. That is supposed to be our little secret.
What cream?
$5 in my pocket. I needed to steal that work medication.
Has anybody ever gone commando to work? Oh, Vaqueño.
Only because she doesn't do the laundry.
I love you for that comment.
Never have I ever. Are we too old for this?
Can't read it.
Who has sent a nude?
I have never sent a nude.
And
No.
From Eleni, I expected it. I don't know why.
I think Ruth and I were together.
Oh my God!
To each other?
Turns in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Who has had sex in a car? I bet you everybody's drinking on this one.
Any other way when you're 18?
Exactly.
But who has walked in on their parents having sex?
Oh.
No.
Thank
God. Nobody.
That were disturbing, but that's okay.
All right. Should we finish it off with this one? Never have I ever ended a night out in the hospital. No? Oh, good girls.
I'm thinking.
Vicky's thinking because she was also probably likely blacked out at the same time.
That's the hospital. Could be ending the night taking someone else to the hospital.
No. That is.
Y'all haven't met my brother.
That is very true. I don't think we're all that bad. I think we grew up pretty.
No, we're good. We're good.
Pretty good. Speaking of, I mean, how many of us here have teenagers? I think about half of us. Yeah, more than half of us. Eleni, Maria, Rula, Evelyn, and me.
I've just entered that zone.
Totally
I do agree. I do agree that I think our children need to date. I do agree that I think our children need to date.
Yes.
What did you say, Ev?
I'm trying to hear what
Imagine
Ev
that
said.
my kids tell me every second of their experiences, which I know they're not. I'm just living.
Yeah,
in a
your
world-
children, yeah.
I want to know if they've, gone to second base and then, I don't know, done.
Yeah,
Could-
I agree.
We could, Dora, we could argue, I have noticed a little bit of it, because Ev was the more rebellious one, I have found that she definitely is more open with her daughters and has allowed them probably more freedoms than I have allowed my children. Because I grew up a little bit more and I was more the follower, I found that I've had to struggle to recognize that I need to give my children some freedom. So I will say things to my children like, I've never done this before, or I've never raised a daughter before, I'm learning,
Right.
give me a chance to figure it out. Or I've never raised a son before, I've never had to figure that out. So if I am not sure how to answer this, give me a couple days and then we'll talk about it. So
Right,
that's
which is
what I say to
definitely
mine.
fair.
That's a good approach.
Yeah, it is a good approach. And, I don't know how, I mean, we got a couple with little ones, especially Dimitra has a little one, but, I always found, which was completely opposite from how we were raised, which being raised, everything was kind of swept under the rug. Or not only that, you were too afraid to even ask the question.
Yeah,
I remember,
absolutely.
right? I remember hearing a conversation in my backyard with some older girls where they were talking about periods. And I was so curious to know what they were talking about because I didn't know what a period was, but I would never approach my parents to ask them. So I think really important starting at a really young age is when your kids ask you questions, that although you don't have to get into a lot of detail, you should always be honest, right?
Yeah.
Even if
Absolutely.
it's like, how are babies born, because if they,
I told
they will catch on really quickly that you're eventually lying to them, and then they're not going to
Yes,
come to you.
it's true.
They're not going to come to you.
I told my son, I think about maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, about where babies come from. And then he decided that he wanted to reenact it.
Oh,
Yeah. This is going to be a 2-hour thing for sure.
yeah.
Oh, I
There's
get
There's no way. There's
I
no
know,
way.
I
We could be
know.
here all night.
This is
I have to make dinner at some point.
no,
My
you
dinner's
don't.
in the oven already, Maria.
Skip those dishes, Maria. Skip those dishes.
It was
Ask
sushi
the
for us
hubby to
tonight.
your right. Ask the hubby to your right to get started.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to talk about that
Let's not go
during
there.
the show.
Oh no, oh no. I have to say I'm probably one of the lucky ones.
Nobody cares, Vicky. Nobody cares how lucky you are.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. And I'm not
Athena-
just saying it because
Athena
he's
says to
sitting
me-
right next to me.
Athena says to me today, you know what, Mama? You're more the cooking person and Baba is more the cleaning person.
Yeah.
Let's face it, you're not really good at cleaning.
Oh my god.
Really?
Okay, I'll take it. Okay.
Crash your friend's room. But that leads me kind of into this conversation of how many of us think that we're actually turning into our mothers, and is that necessarily a bad thing? It may not be a bad thing.
I'm not,
Mom,
but maybe somebody else on the screen is turning into my mother, but I won't say who.
Oh,
Rula, that's
no,
for
that,
you.
no,
Uh-oh.
that was a low blow. Okay. Eleni's laughing too. That's not nice. Okay, that's not nice.
Laughing in the other room.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
See, I find my mom, the rules go out the window with my kids. Oh, Razi, asking na to kani. And I'm like, what?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's my mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. I think the same as with my father-in-law. I mean, I didn't know him when the kids were growing up. Maybe Vicky can speak to that a little bit better, but
So strict.
he was so strict. They weren't
He was
allowed to.
So strict.
Yeah, and now it's like πρέπει να μιλάτε στα παιδιά ήρεμα. I'm like, really? Ήρεμα μιλούσατε και εσείς στα παιδιά σας.
Yes.
Let's just ask.
I know. Oh my God.